Welcome back, everyone. I am glad you made time for this short revision before the warehouse management exam. Let us go through the key ideas slowly so they stay with you. Warehouse management is not just storage. It is the movement of people, products, and information working in rhythm. Each step from receiving goods to dispatching them shows how efficient a company really is. Benchmarks help us measure that rhythm. They tell us what good looks like and where improvement is needed. Think of DHL and Sellinger upgrading its warehouse. They would check how accurately goods are received. Does what arrives match what was ordered? That is receiving accuracy. High accuracy keeps everything else stable. Then comes put away time, how long it takes to move items into proper storage. If that time shrinks, space and workflow are being used wisely. Order picking accuracy comes next. In e-commerce, that one is vital. Each wrong pick is a lost sale and a disappointed customer. Cycle time, meanwhile, tells you how long an order takes from start to finish. When that number falls, customers notice faster deliveries. Inventory record accuracy keeps the system honest. What is on screen must match what is on the shelf. And dock-to-stock time, the moment goods reach the dock until they are ready for picking, shows how responsive the warehouse really is. When you revise, do not just list these. Picture them in motion. Workers, scanners, forklifts, data updates. Every metric captures one small truth about performance. Now imagine moving from process to profiling. Warehouses, like people, have personalities. IKEA Malaysia handles big furniture and tiny lamps. To stay efficient, they group items by movement. Fast movers near the front, slow movers further back, that is ABC classification. Profiling also looks at shape, size, and fragility. Flat-packed furniture may stay on lower racks, fragile decor may get special shelving. Even the seasons change the plan. Outdoor furniture or festive decor moves closer when demand spikes. Profiling keeps operations agile. It saves labor, reduces travel time, and speeds up fulfillment without major spending. When you study, imagine walking through that warehouse. You will see how layout, product type, and demand patterns all work together. That picture will help you remember and apply what you have learned calmly, clearly, and with logic. Let us move now to the idea of warehouse costs, the part that often reveals more than any performance chart. A warehouse can look perfectly organized, but numbers tell the truth. Companies like FedEx pay close attention to cost benchmarks. These are not just accounting figures, they reflect how wisely a warehouse is being run. Start with cost per order processed. It is simple, but powerful. It asks, how much does it cost to handle one order from start to finish? This includes labor, packaging, and handling. If that number starts to rise, it is usually a sign that something inside the process needs review. Maybe order complexity is growing or resources are not balanced. Then there is labor cost per unit handled. Labor is often the single largest cost in warehouse operations. By benchmarking it, companies can see whether automation or staff training will bring better returns. It is not about cutting people, it is about helping them work smarter. Storage cost per cubic meter per month is another strong indicator. It shows whether space is being used efficiently. If it is too high, it might mean racks are half empty or products are sitting too long. That is where warehouse profiling links back. Slow stock raises costs. Cost of returns handling is increasingly important, especially with e-commerce. Every returned item needs to be checked, repacked, and restocked. If the process is messy, costs pile up. By benchmarking, companies can decide whether to invest in automation or rethink their return policies. We cannot forget equipment and energy costs. Machines like forklifts, conveyors, or barcode scanners do not just run, they wear down. Tracking maintenance cost per hour of use keeps spending predictable. And energy cost per square meter can reveal whether lighting and climate control are being managed efficiently. These costs may seem small, but across large warehouses, they add up fast. When you revise, think of cost benchmarking as a way to translate efficiency into numbers. It tells managers not only where money goes, but why. Now let us look at automation, a word that sounds exciting but demands discipline. Take Amazon's fulfillment centers. They have filled their spaces with robotics. and AI picking systems, yet they still measure performance meticulously. Automation does not free you from benchmarking, it demands more of it. The robot utilization rate shows how effectively machines are being used. If robots are idle half the day, it is not progress, it is wasted investment. The throughput per hour metric captures how many items move through the system in a given time, letting Amazon compare output before and after automation. Downtime tells another story. When machines break or software stalls, the entire operation feels it. So companies measure both the frequency and duration of downtime to catch reliability issues early. Automation also has its version of picking accuracy. Even a robot can make errors, a wrong barcode, a misread label. Monitoring the error rate per 1,000 picks ensures technology does not erode service quality. Then there is maintenance cost. If it keeps rising, maybe it is time to replace rather than repair. And finally, integration. Automation is useless if it does not talk to the warehouse management system. Seamless integration means data updates instantly, orders sync correctly, and the whole process feels like one organism instead of separate limbs. Automation, when done right, is not about replacing people. It is about freeing them to handle complex decisions while machines do the repetitive tasks. It is a partnership, one that relies on data, timing, and trust. Before we wrap up today's session, if you have found this revision useful, do take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps more students discover these short academic revision talks. You can also revisit earlier videos on other logistics topics to strengthen your understanding. And remember, this space is for your learning, so feel free to leave a comment or question. I always enjoy seeing your reflections and thoughts. Now, let us continue our discussion and bring everything together. Puzza Malaysia's Parcel Hub in Shah Alam offers a good local example of how automation and mechanization transform warehouse efficiency. As parcel volumes keep climbing, automation becomes essential to keep operations steady. Conveyors, barcode scanners, and sorting machines do most of the physical work now, but their success still depends on careful benchmarking. Sorting accuracy is the first sign of success. Each misrouted parcel represents time and cost lost. So the company measures how close they get to perfect accuracy, including message, often aiming for near-flawless sorting per 10,000 parcels. The next indicator is throughput rate. How many parcels move through the system in an hour? That tells us whether the equipment and layout can handle real-world pressure. System uptime is another quiet but vital measure. When machines run smoothly more than 98% of the time, customer satisfaction stays high. But when downtime creeps in, dispatch schedules and delivery promises start to slip. That is why preventive maintenance and staff readiness matter just as much as technology itself. Energy consumption per operation cycle is also part of the picture. Automation is supposed to be efficient, not power-hungry. Monitoring how much energy each sorting cycle uses helps a company stay cost-conscious and environmentally responsible. And of course, barcode read rate. If scanners cannot read properly, the whole process slows down. The goal is close to perfect readability. Finally, labor productivity should rise after automation. The idea is not to replace people, but to make their work easier and more valuable. When technology takes on the heavy repetitive jobs, human workers can focus on analysis, quality checks, and continuous improvement. That is how human and machine collaboration looks in practice. Now, take a step back and see how everything connects. DHL's process benchmarking, IKEA's profiling, FedEx's cost analysis, Amazon's robotics, and Post Malaysia's mechanization all share the same heartbeat. Measure, learn, improve. Benchmarking is not about copying competitors. It is about knowing your own strengths and weaknesses. When you prepare for the exam, think about how these themes overlap. Process efficiency influences costs. Cost control shapes automation choices. Automation affects labor and service quality. They all interlock. If you can explain those connections clearly, you will write with insight rather than repetition. In your answers, stay structured and calm. Define the benchmark, explain its purpose, and link it to a meaningful outcome. You do not need fancy words, just clear logic. A well-reasoned answer always stands out. And as you close your notes tonight, remember this: warehouse management is about flow of goods, of time, and of thought. Keep your mind organized, just like a well-run warehouse. Good luck in your exams, everyone. You have put in the effort. Trust yourself, write clearly, and finish strong.